Good evening, guys. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Yeah, this is Counselor, and this is our weekly morning week. Thank you for joining. Kindly tell us your name and where you're joining from. We'll start in few minutes' time. Please tell us where you're joining us from. My name is Counselor, like you all know already. So this week we're going to dissect everything we talked about on Monday and know how our week went. See me playing Oladire from Lagos. Thank you for joining. Thank you, thank you. You've been one of our pioneers since the start of this channel. So the time is 9:05. So let's move. So thank you very much for joining. Thank you, MJ from Ogun. Thank you, Timmy. And yes, this is Money Talk for the week. And like I said the other time, we're going to be doing it from Monday and then Friday, so that when I come back to analyze how the week was, you will not be left hanging as per how did we get this place, how did we get to this point, and all that. So, having said that, we're going to jump straight into the chart. We're going to jump straight into the chart for this week. On Monday, I clearly said I was expecting price to come from this guy, from this up, and then enter this level of FVG, this void that was created here. I said that I want the price to fill it, and then we can start pushing upwards. And as you can see, price came into it, pushed it, and then went up. Clearly, we had a very, very dull week. Why is that? The news are crazy, the CPIs, the small news that happened this week, they are all there. And that was the reason why it feels like the week is just there. We have the retail sales this week. We had the PPI this week. We had the jobless claims this week. And then last week was the CPI. So, in as much as they all went the way they went, I was saying last week, is this week too. I think it's on Tuesday or so. We have the CPI, and then this week was crazy. And then if you know that that is how the market has moved, you are obviously going to expect that kind of lag, and those kind of turnout will not push when price breaks those news hours. So that was why this thing was just lagging and lagging and lagging and lagging. But then during the news hours, price will pick up. So how did we get this entry? Like I said that last week. Obviously, from this 4 hours, you know that price is not just coming to fill in every of the details of the FVG. No. It's now from your entry, you now say, okay, I have this breaker block here. And what is breaker block? Breaker block is a failed order block. You have an order block here to buy from, right? But then price came into it and then break past it. Once price breaks it like this, coming back again, it is expected to tap it like this and then continue to the downside. This is what happened here on the flip side. On the flip side, price came back and then smashed this place. On taking it out, we are expecting price to come back to this zone and then start going up. Obviously, from 4 hours, you can't expect your entry to be on 4 hours. That is what you should be doing. You don't just wake up and expect your entry to just come and just tap it like that and then start moving. No, things does not work the way it works in your head. I always say this thing to my students. I think. No, in trading, you don't think, you react. You don't think, you do what? You react. So, as I'm looking at it, how did we get here? How did price get to this point? It's not just because of what I'm saying. Price got to that point because it is a set of liquidity dragging price down. So why did it not just drag it down and then scatter everything? No, it did not. Because of what? Like I said again, price action. So the next thing you do, not stand on 4 hours and be doing something I don't understand. No. What you should do is now go to the time frame that you trade from and now do what? Look for the break of structure, your liquidity, your POI, and then you shoot. So for me, for 1 hour, price got into my entry and boom, that was when we took our first buy for I think it's on Monday or Tuesday morning. It triggered and then that's it. And if you look at this, my average risk to reward has always been what? 3. This one 3.5. So 3 is somewhere here. My average risk to reward. So for that, he entered and we were good to go at some point. So we saw on the second week, we saw another entry again with the same thing, with the same entry for this. If you recall, I said the price, a breaker block is a failed order block. So as you can see this guy here now, it have already triggered us and went to this place and then broke this one and came back. How did I figure to find out another entry? From this point, all these ones here have already cleared. All this equity here have already been cleared. Everything has been cleared already. So I will not say that I want to take entry from this place. No. Because now we are looking for what? We are looking for continuation. We are looking for continuation. Continuation means that you already seen the move started. Now, what do you want to do? You want to continue that plan. You want to do what? You want to continue that move that price was making. That was where we got our second entry from. That is where we got our second entry from. Where is the second entry gotten from? It's very simple. If you follow price action, you will clearly see that price has taken off from this point, and this is obviously the liquidity here. And what next? Your POI, which is from here till this place, this guy stopped. That's the body of the candle. But for you to be on the safer side, probably if you're coming from the lower time frame, 30 minutes as it seems, you can cover the week. But then that is up to you. That is entirely up to you. For me, I'm okay here because I'm looking for what? 1:3. So if once price comes down into this place, obviously it's taking you out. Obviously it's taking you out. So this happened in the night, and then I already told everybody you can break this one even and then hold this one. And around 1 a.m. or so in the night, I'm very sure, look at it, 1:30 a.m. This thing hit almost 4 hour, 4.7 hour. But then we are not winch, we are not demons, we trade, we sleep, we are not slaves to the chart, right? So everybody was sleeping and all that. And waking up in the morning, it was a disaster. Waking up in the morning, it was a disaster. What do I mean a disaster? Our trade hit BEs crazy around 10 a.m. already. SL have already hit on this one, but clearly enough, my students already know this. They don't need me to tell them that once your trade is running 3 hour, either you're out of the trade or you've already booked your partial profit and break even. So this, well, for me was a break even. This was for me a break even. But this I took my profit already because I don't really expect too much from the market, because expectation kills you faster in this line of work. So you don't have, you should have an open mind. You should have a what? You should have an open mind. So everything you're doing should be open minded. Don't say that I think this will happen. I think that will happen. No, you don't think. You react. You don't think. You should do what? You react. So that was how the gold panned out. And when it happened again, it came into the price again, and gold has been consolidating inside this range zone since all the week. Gold kept consolidating on inside the zone. For me, I'm certain that price will still go up and clear these ones. But if it breaks this down, then it's going to be a downward spiral. So that is for the gold this week. If you got any entry from this gold from our analysis, I want you to give me a thumbs up on the chat. Give me 111 on the chat box if you got in from these entries yourself. Yes, I didn't call the exact entry on the channel, but if you know what you're doing, from what I discussed on Monday, you would have gotten a decent entry for the gold pair on during the week. So the second one is, I talked about, like everything I talked about on Monday is the same thing I'm going to talk about. Nothing added, no sugar coating content just to make it look good. Nah. So on Monday, I recall that price was somewhere here. Price was somewhere here on Monday. What did I say? I said clearly that for the fact that price is here, this is what our hypothetical entry. But I am not taking it because of what? The what? If I can remember, the liquidity was far from the entry at the time. And I clearly said once price gets here, it will take this one out. Once price gets here, it will take this one out. So what happened? Price came inside, took it out, and then broke to the upside. Once it broke, what did I do? Like I said again, it is called a reclaimed block. It is called what? A reclaimed block. Like I said, this is not a mentorship, but I will do my best to explain at least all my entries to you. And I'm very sure that my students will be pissed because this is a $1,000 more than knowledge that you're getting for cheap. Reclaimed block. Reclaimed block. So, for example, let's use a decent chart representation for this. Remember, order block, OB, order block, OB, order block, OB. So when you have an entry here, you have a demand zone expecting this guy to come back, do this, and then continue going up, right? This is how we mark our order block. Should I change the color so you know what I'm saying? Is this okay? Yeah, this is okay. So there's the color, order block, right? So this is how to mark order block normally. So when this guy comes back here and fails to move, what happened? He broke it. Once he breaks it with a very reaction, loud reaction, I mean, he broke it like this, like this, like this, and continues going down. This is not negligible. It is very, very loud. So once it's coming back now, you're expecting what? You're expecting for it to react from this point and dump. This is now what? Seen as what? As a breaker block. This is now a mentorship that I said I'm not going to do. This is now a breaker block. So what is reclaimed block? Reclaimed block is when that same thing that happened in the breaker block, it happened on the other block, but with minimum reaction. With minimum reaction, probably one candle. You just took it out and then started going up again. Will you now say that for the fact that you are broken this one, I'm now bearish, I'm not going to buy again? That's a lie. It doesn't work that way. So like I said, price is fractal. Your job is to do what? Follow it the way it's headed. So once this one took this one out, you won't say that, oh, now this one I'm taking out, I'm now selling. No. Once he took it out, he came back again and reclaimed that same other block that was initially there. What happened? He just took out money from every buyer that bought here, took out everybody's money and did what? And pumped to where? To the TP target without any much more stress. So when this one happened, I took it, but I didn't share it. But then the second one was what I shared. But guess what? Price did not come into it again. So that is how GBP USD happened. And guess what? Our target was smashed because, like I said, know where your price is coming from, know where it's headed. This was my range low for last week. This was my range high for the week. And then our range high was taken out. It was a decent 1:14 if I held to that point. But I believe that with everything I'm saying, you are getting the gist. So I've talked about reclaimed block, I've talked about mitigation block, I've talked about what other one? Reclaimed, other block. What's this one called again? I don't forget the name. Now. Reclaimed. A failed other block is called what? In the comments, someone help me. A failed other block is called what? Thank you, breaker block. So that is how the, what is it called? The GBP USD played out for the week. A decent 14. So for the third one, BTC, I clearly said it that we are expecting price, it was here on Monday, we're expecting price to come back into this zone and then buy. And that is what exactly happened. Like I said, this is my target and it was met. So I'm giving you directional bias. Your job is now to work on your entries. I'm giving you directional bias. Your job is to do what? Work on your entries. Like I said, as price entered this place, what am I looking for? I'm looking out for a break to the upside. Like we said, the same entry that we got from gold should have been gotten here too. But the point is, are you aware? Are you decent enough to stick to the few pairs, or are you all over the place? So like you see now, this is one and then break. So once it broke from this point, Your question now is, how am I going to get entry from? Where is your liquidity? Obviously, this is your first valid pullback from this point. And guess what? Your entry is, boom, this. So entry gotten from this, either this one or they're the same thing. This is the first one that happened. So from that place, your SL is here. Your target is, where is this place? But like I said, 1:3, you are okay. So 1:5, 2.9, decent. But did you get your risk to reward check? Yes. So the question is not how are you doing in your bias. The question really is, your directional bias is correct, but did you make money of it? That question is for you to answer. So decently, this is decent 1:5.9 R. So this is for BTC. And finally, for GJ, which I said last week that is already close to what? It's already close to the target. Let's just allow it to hit the target. And guess what? Our target was hit, which is here. But our entries was missed. I was waiting for price to at least enter here. But as you can see, few pips, not really few, is a long pip. What did price take buy from? If you look very well now, you see that where price bought from. Price bought from this FVG that was created. From this point to this point, you can clearly see it. So let me go back to my color. I don't forget the color. Here is this. So from this point to this point, this is where price bought from. This FVG that was price took from. And you cannot say that you are buying from the FVG because this is not my entry. Even if I buy from the FVG, it might work, but how long, often will you work? How often will you work? The break of structure is here, and the liquidity is here, and the expected price to come to this point, but then it took with FVG and bought massively. From that FVG, it went straight to our target, which is here. So that is decent 11R, but that is not my entry model. So I can't just use anywhere I see FVG and now put my target and go and buy. No. So this one obviously is a mistrade. I didn't even try to force it or anything. So this is what the week under review is like. So the question is this: did you, out of these four pairs that we did on Monday, did you catch any trade on any of them? If you did, tell me yes on the chat box. If you didn't, tell me no. But then if you have a question on the entries, tell me too on the chat box. This meeting will be finishing in 30 minutes, so I wouldn't want to drag it longer. It's just a review of the trade we took on Monday or for the week. So you make informed decisions from that. So I'll be on the chat box waiting for you to give me the answers to what I asked. So to me, you took the buy, you took some of the setups. That's good. 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 So only you took it. Anyway, only one person taking the setup, making use of it is very, very decent for me. I don't really give a fuck what any other person did. Like I said, this channel is me teaching myself. Is me teaching myself. It's not going to be that flashy and all top notch. Nah. So we don't do those things here. My own is tell you the things the way they are and make informed decisions out of them. The choice now is yours. Do you want to make those decisions informed, or do you just want to be trading like so I don't have purpose? You should trade with purpose. So my nugget for the day is simple: how to scale up your account with prop firms. That is my main teaching for today. How to scale up your account using prop firms. I did something last week. Sorry, during the week, I told my students that if you want me to give you prop firms, I'm no longer that good person. I'm no longer that counselor that will come and be dashing you your account because I heard one of your sub stories and it makes sense in my head and I'll buy you account. Everybody have bought account. Nobody have passed phase one. Talk more of phase two. Talk more of getting to payout. None. Not a single person. So what I did now is for you to tell me that you are good in this thing that you want to do. Tell me that I'm a good trader. I did this. I did that. I'm not arguing with you. You know what you want to do. I want you to go to your trader, your favorite prop firm, get an account with them. No, don't get an account yet. Join the competition and be in the 1%. Be among the 1%. How is that? For currently they have more than 80,000 participants. 80,000 participants. And from my analysis, or what do I call it? From my study, Nigerians make more than 20% of them. So according to June competition last month, 24 Nigerians made top 100. Are you seeing how intentional people are to make money? Out of 100 of thousands, almost 100,000 participants, Nigerians are up 24% of top 100. Currently, a Nigerian is the first person. Currently, for the August competition, Nigerian. So don't say you don't have money. Don't say you need capital. Don't say I'm looking for this capital to come on. I want to borrow money from my uncle, I want to borrow money from my auntie, I want to borrow money from my daddy, I want to borrow money from my mommy. Go and enter the competition. Once you are top 100, I'll give you account. But once you are 1%, let's say 80,000 people participating in this thing, and you are what of the 1,000%? Sorry, 10,000, 80,000 people. So to be 1% of that, it means you are top 800. So once you are 800, I'll give you an account. But then if you are top 100, the funded nest will give you an account, not even me again. They will give you an account and I'll also give you. Yes. Funded nest will give you an account from 5K to 100K. If you're number one, they will give you 5K. If you're number two, they will give you 2K. I mean cash and 100K account. If you are third, they'll give you 1K and then I think it's 100K account too. So from fourth is 50K, 25K, 10K, and 5K. But will you have an account? Yes. So this is the way to start building if you don't have any money at all. If you don't have any money at all. So anybody coming to tell you to register with my broker, do this one, do that one, they're lying to you. They are making money off you. Whether I'm not saying the broker that setting is bad, but once I come to tell you, please use my link and do this, use my link and do that, they are all getting rebates. They are all getting rebates. And it's not a bad thing. If you have the audience, you can use it. But most of them don't give a fuck about you. And then finally, get an accountability partner. Get an accountability partner. What does that do for you? It makes you just like it checks and balances your growth. It checks and balances your growth. Accountability partner is what? Someone that you're accountable to everything you do in your trading. Someone that checks your account every day, every end of the week. Someone that you tell this is why you took this trade. Someone that is like your journal. Whether you like it or not, your bank will send you your monthly statement at the end of every month. So all the money you've wasted, you see it there. All the money you've made, you see it there. Whether you made a loss or a profit, you see it there. So get an accountability partner. What does it do for you? Share your trades with him. If you make any mistake, let me tell you how I do with my students. My students is very simple. Once I'm done teaching you, the next thing you should do is, if you want me to be your accountability partner, I'll give you the very, very simplest way. I'll tell you very simple. If you default it, how much are you paying? I have a student that if he defaults, he pays $100. I don't want to call his name. I have a student that if he defaults, he pays $50. But for me, for my accountability partner, if I default, I pay him $1,000. So according to your account size and who you and the kind of person you're trading and the kind of money you have, you can get account partner that has your interest at heart. I'm showing you my own, you're showing me your own. That way you can grow together. I don't want you to be someone that's trading $100,000 like dollars account. Your partner is trading 1 million. You cannot align. You'll be greedy. So do that and do it for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and you will now get hold of yourself. Let me tell you this thing. Trading is far, far, far beyond patterns. Trading is far, far, far beyond charts. Once you figured out charts, you've figured out your technical analysis, you figured out everything. The next demon, the next weapon is you. The next weapon is your emotions. The next weapon is your psychology. And that is the reason why the only person that can fix that for you is your accountability partner. You cannot lie to your doctor. You cannot lie to your lawyer. You cannot lie to yourself. So when you open up your challenges to that person, the person opens up to you. You pour into him, the person pours into you. If you want me to be your accountability partner, it's not cheap. And I'm not going to babysit you. I'm not going to babysit you. So always have one. And with time, you can see tremendous growth in your trading journey. If you found value in today's session, kindly give me value on the chat box. Give me value in the chat box, and we'll call it a day. See you next time, same time on Monday. So we go through the charts that we trade, and then by the end of the week, you can still come back and dissect all of them. Trading is fun when you do with somebody that has your interest at heart, someone as hungry as you are, someone as disciplined and genuine and dedicated as you are. But if you're just doing it alone, it can be a lonely journey. Very, very lonely journey. Thank you very much, Timmy, for joining tonight. And then see you same time, same venue on Monday, so that we can start the new week in a very decent note. Have a good night. See you at the top, not from the top. Like you always know, the bottom is way, way too crowded.